Some videos capture moments that are difficult to explain. Others capture moments that are simply disturbing. Tonight we'll be taking a look at several clips sent in by viewers like you, each capturing things on camera that left them confused. Some are hard to explain, possibly of a paranormal nature. Others are real-life encounters that will leave you shook. So welcome back, and let's take a look together. I'm not afraid. Two young boys are joking around in their kitchen late at night when they begin talking about ghosts. But just moments later, something strange happens. Look closely at the flowers sitting on the kitchen table. They suddenly begin to move on their own. And almost immediately after, the front door slams shut. The sudden movement sends the boys into a panic, screaming and running from the room. Was it just air blowing through the house? Or could it be something more of a poltergeist type nature? The crash. In the following video, a woman says she's been hearing strange noises inside her apartment, doors opening, cabinets slamming shut, and sometimes waking her from her sleep. One night, after hearing a loud bang coming from her kitchen, she decides to start recording.
I just came out of the bathroom. Well, I went to the bathroom, and then I was in my room, and I hear a loud...
But the moment she steps out of her room, something happens that leaves her completely stunned.
Oh my gosh! What?
Somehow, the entire set of kitchen cabinets appears to have collapsed, sending everything inside crashing to the floor.
What?
Completely shocked at what just happened, she quickly left the apartment.
I don't know what to do. I'm actually freaking out.
So what do you think happened here? Could this simply be a case of poor installation? Or was something else responsible for the strange noises she'd been hearing inside the apartment? The smiling visitor. A young woman is home alone studying when two men approach her door, activating her ring cam. At first glance, it may seem like a harmless visit from solicitors, but after looking closer, a few things begin to stand out. The man in the front keeps a smile plastered on his face that looks very unnatural and forced. And looking closely at his hand, it appears to be heavily bandaged. And the man in the back keeps one hand in his coat pocket at all times. While this may have been an innocent encounter, it left the woman feeling very uncomfortable when watching back the footage. So what do you think? Did she do the right thing by not answering the door? Or were these just two visitors trying to promote something? The running light. A woman arriving home late at night notices something strange across the street from her driveway. As she exits her car, a strange voice can be heard saying hello. At first, it appears to be someone standing in the dark, possibly holding a flashlight. But then the light suddenly drops to the ground and begins moving in a way that doesn't quite look human. The glowing object appears to run from right to left on all fours. Moments later, it rises again, standing upright, facing directly towards the woman. Unsettled and unsure of what she's seeing, she quickly goes back inside. But if this was really someone standing across the street, what exactly was it doing running on all fours just moments earlier? And if it were some kind of animal, what animal suddenly stands upright like that, especially with a light attached to its head? Whatever it was, the footage leaves far more questions than answers. So if you guys didn't already know, I spend a ridiculous amount of time editing, digging through footage, sound effects, music, trying to make these stories actually feel immersive. And a tool that's become a huge part of my workflow lately is Storyblocks, who also happens to be sponsoring today's video. Storyblocks is basically an all-in-one creative toolkit for video creators. Instead of jumping between a bunch of different sites trying to find footage, music, sound effects, or motion graphics, everything is in one place. And what I really like is that all the footage in the Storyblocks library is real, human-made content from filmmakers and artists all around the world. So when you're adding visuals to your project, you're working with professional footage, not generated AI clips. For example, in this video I use Storyblocks to grab things like atmospheric shots, sound effects, and music that helps build tension during certain scenes. It saves me a ton of time searching for assets, and honestly, it just helps me focus more on telling the story instead of hunting down the resources. They also have thousands of customizable templates for programs like Premiere Pro, After Effects, Apple Motion, and DaVinci Resolve. So things like title animations, overlays, and graphics can be dropped directly into your timeline. And everything you download is royalty-free and pre-licensed, which means you could safely use it and monetize YouTube videos or client projects without worrying about licensing issues. So if you want to start telling better stories with the same tools that I use, head to storyblocks.com/MindSeedTV, and they're offering 15% off any annual plan for a limited time, and that discount is only available through my link. And now, back to the scary sightings. I saw it move. Late one night, a young boy is playing with his toys while the rest of his family is asleep, but something suddenly sends him into a panic. Watch closely what happens next. Terrified, he runs to his mother's room, claiming that one of the Christmas decorations in the living room started moving on its own. His mother assumes it was just his imagination. But after reviewing the security footage, did you see it? Just at the bottom of the frame, the camera did capture the object beginning to move.
Mom, the elf got in the door!
So what exactly could have caused this decoration to move on its own and send this child into a panic? Strange confrontation. Late one night, a young woman is returning home when a man suddenly approaches her as she's entering her building.
Can I help you?
Immediately, she confronts the man. He begins to ramble on, hard to understand.
No. You all good? I'm trying to make sure she all
I'm good.
Never seeing this man before and not knowing what he's talking about, she tells him to go away.
That's it.
Then you can go over there.
Okay.
But something about the encounter immediately feels off.
Can I help you?
The woman quickly gets inside and locks the door, warning her roommate about the strange interaction.
Alyssa, it's not funny. Get inside.
I know. Look at the fucking ring.
Moments later, he's spotted on the ring cam circling back. This time, quietly checking the door and lingering in the hallway. He waits outside the door for a while and then eventually wanders off. Personally, I think the most disturbing thing about this footage is if she hadn't turned around when she did, this situation might have turned out very differently. The dripping ceiling. A young man inside of his apartment begins noticing something strange dripping from the smoke detector on his ceiling.
Yo, what the f***?
At first, he assumes it might just be rust, or possibly a leak from the apartment above. But as the dripping continues, the liquid begins collecting in a pot on the floor. Concerned about what he's seeing, he calls for help, and what authorities eventually discover upstairs was far more disturbing than anyone expected. After learning there was a tragedy upstairs, and where the liquid was coming from, the man quickly realized it wasn't a leak at all, but something much more grim soaking its way through his ceiling. After experiencing something like this, what would you do? Would you stay in this apartment, or would it be time to go? The boy in the corner. A paranormal investigation team receives reports about an abandoned restaurant that locals claim is haunted. One of the investigators decides to check the building alone. Almost immediately, something strange happens.
Oh, it's cold right here.
He suddenly mentions feeling a cold draft. But watch the corner of the kitchen. A dark figure can vaguely be seen peeking around the edge of the wall. The investigator walks right past it without noticing.
Hello? I'm not going up there.
And if you listen closely, strange distorted voices can be heard coming from around the building.
I'm not going up there. Definitely not going back there. Oh wow, it is really cold right here.
Moments later, he returns to the same spot and it feels even colder than before. But what happens next is even stranger. This time he sees it and focuses his camera on what appears to be the shadow of a little boy. Some viewers believe a faint voice can also be heard saying, "Go away." But when he steps into the kitchen to investigate, the figure is suddenly gone. Then he hears this. A voice sounding as if it were calling him back into the hallway.
I don't think it's happy we're here.
So what did he capture on camera? Was it simply a shadow, or did something inside the building disappear right in front of him? Let me know your thoughts down below. Something's watching. A woman says she's been feeling a strange presence in her garage for a while now. After cleaning the garage all day, she gets ready to leave the house with her daughter. Her daughter stays in the garage playing with some toys as the security camera captures this.
Come on, wherever you are. Mom?
Hey, take that off, baby. We're leaving, okay? You can do it when we get back.
After coming outside telling her daughter it's time to go, her daughter goes into the house.
Get yourself some water, okay?
And after closing the garage, as she turns out the lights, she feels as if something is still watching her. Then the camera captured this. At first it's hard to see, but if you look closely, there's a strange figure that appears to be moving through the garage, almost transparent. Some argue this might be a spider web in front of the camera, but if you look closely, whatever the object is, it appears to move behind the pole in the garage. So what do you think this could be? Is this just a strange anomaly or glitch in the camera? Or do you think there might be some sort of spiritual being lingering in her garage? Let me know down below. The white van. A mother watching her home security camera suddenly notices something that immediately concerns her. She notices a van slow down watching her kid. Moments later, the van hits the brakes and begins reversing, coming back towards the child. Realizing what may be happening, the mother quickly runs outside.
Keep fucking going!
Confronted, the driver immediately pulls away, leaving the area. The girl's father then rushes outside after hearing the commotion.
Saw Raylan behind the fucking car, and then put his reverse.
After finding out what happened, he attempts to follow the vehicle. Situations like this happen too often. And if the mother hadn't noticed the van when she did, this situation may have ended up very differently. Luckily for this little girl, her mother was being extremely vigilant. After watching all of these clips, one thing becomes clear. Some moments caught on camera are easier than others to explain. Others leave behind questions that won't go away. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which clip disturbed you the most and why. Was it the unexplainable paranormal moments or the real life situations? Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you next time.
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed.